If you're a gay man and you notice that the common advice on manifestation is just not working for you or not working for you as you wish it would, there is a good reason for it. Probably people who talk about manifestation out there, spiritual leaders or spiritual influencers out there, they simply don't understand your day to day life. In this video, I would like to put together a manifestation guide, and it's not spiritual because for me personally, manifestation is not a spiritual thing. It is a psychological thing. It is a framing your mind, framing your psychology, framing your cognitive abilities, taking aligned steps and using your imagination, using your body, using your entire physical being to get what you want. And it's not to deny spirituality. I am a spiritual person. And in fact, a lot of my professors in like when I was in school and I studied clinical psychology, they were highly spiritual. And I absolutely believe that when you align and when you bring the science and spirituality together, you can really create beautiful life. I'm going to use psychology, and one of the frameworks that I am going to be using to explain how to manifest what you want is acceptance and commitment therapy framework, or at least parts of it. Now, what qualifies me to speak about it, to use this framework, to talk about manifestation, to talk about to gay men? I'm a gay man who manifested really significant things in my life, such as immigration from Russia, getting my legal documents literally in 3 months after I landed in the United States, literally within 90 days. And I worked in the past in Russia. I worked as a psychologist, as a therapist. I am a licensed registered hypnotherapist in the state of Washington. I work with gay men, and I know that this stuff works. And I know also that in this spiritual space, you see a lot of straight women, you see a lot of this bro or macho, like really strong masculine energy, but I don't know if majority of them are not gay. I mean, they're incredibly good looking, especially without a shirt on. I digress. I get distracted. Yes. And also they don't have your lived experiences. So let's talk about what is manifestation. Manifestation is simply getting what you want, getting the shit that you want. That is the manifestation. And you can't really manifest anything. You can only receive what you equipped to handle. I mean, things can come to you, but if you're not equipped to handle them, you won't be able to get this. So people say you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. I mean, to some degree, it is true. It is true. It's important to understand who you are and your internal state. This is essential. And also, as a gay man, it's important to understand that the significant change, significant transformation only possible when there is safety. For us, especially if you live in the United States and in a lot of places on earth, and it's simply safety is simply not a giving factor for us. And telling that you can only manifest from the state of safety, I'm sorry, this is bullshit because unless something will dramatically change and I move to a place where there's literally a gay paradise, and I will be living in a state where it is not, maybe not everything is entirely safe for me as a gay man. I have to scan for danger, and this is normal. I want to say this. This is normal response. But can you manifest when you are in a sense of danger, right? Especially in this situation with war, with what's going on politically. And yes, because I manifested my reality from the place where I was not safe. So this statement is simply not the reality. So you manifest what you are. Again, this is partially correct and I can partially resonate with it, but let's break it down psychologically. If we use somatic practices in acceptance and commitment therapy, this is how it will look. The first thing is acceptance, it is not giving up. Acceptance, it is not to say that what is going on, it is okay. Acceptance, it's simply say, hey, this happened. It's stop ignoring the actual reality. When I lived in Russia, I could not deny that I live in London or I lived anywhere else. I live in motherfucking Russia. And like I wake up the next day, I'm in Russia, the next day in Russia, the next day in Russia, the next and the next day. So like that was simply not changing. I could not change the reality that the government is really against gay people there. Like the law is the law is the law, and like it's there. As much as I want to dissociate and manifest something different, it's simply there. Like can it be manifested well enough so the government will change? Like possibly people have done it, but it's a larger force. So acceptance is literally acknowledging what's going on right now. Because example, you can use example about money. You can use example about your career. You can use example about your relationship. Whatever you want to achieve in your life, whatever you want to get in your life, right? So acknowledging the reality, acknowledging the reality. So another thing is simply people say like, well, you have to surrender. You have to release. You have to surrender. You have to release. You have to release the need of the outcome. And it's partially true because for me personally, a release of the outcome is really important. But the way I diffused it for myself. Yes, I want to move, but does it have to be the US? It doesn't have to be the US. It can be Canada, it can be New Zealand, it can be something else. English speaking country where I can be safe. Like literally, that's it. And this is how I diffuse. And by the way, the US was not on the map for me at all. So you are diffusing the tension inside of you that like I have to have, I don't know, like 6-figure career as a model, for example. I'm making this up. So for me personally, like again, like what country, I don't care. I need to be safe. It has to be economically stable country and preferably English speaking country. The US kind of was not on the menu for me, but I was open to the US and it happened absolutely by accident. And this is why like psychological framing and trusting yourself, trusting your guidance is essential. So, and I'm looking at my cheat sheet so I don't miss a step. Now, realizing that how you speak about yourself, like self as a concept. So you have to have a concept of self, and this is where I like IFS, internal family system approach, right? Energy of self is when you're curious, is when you're calm, is when you're courageous, is when you are connected. So this is the energy of self, and this is absolutely irresistible when you are like that. And more importantly, according to IFS, internal family system, when you are in the energy of self, other people start being attracted to you from the energy of self. And as a self, you're not broken, you're not wounded, you are not traumatized, you're not abused, you're not what happened to you, right? Like you are this pure consciousness, like pure soul consciousness. And this is not the spiritual language, this is literally internal family system framework. Now, when you are in this space, start really understanding what do you desire, what do you want from the place of self energy, and then like that will and understand why do you want it, what are your values, because listen, healing from trauma, healing from anxiety, healing from addiction, healing from just what happens to us in life for healing's sake, this is not the outcome. If you don't have a bigger value, a bigger purpose, a bigger goal in life, why do you need this? Then eventually you're gonna end up at the same step at the same place. And going after like committing and committed action, and it's actually really hard. It can be really hard because in your mind, we're so like with the society nowadays, we're so accustomed to instant gratification that the moment it is a little bit hard, we're ready to give up and we forget our values. So remembering why you want it and why you want it, that has to come from you. From me, it is for my absolutely greatest and highest good. I wanted to move to another country for my absolutely greatest and highest good, to be safe as a gay man, to create safely, beautifully, expandedly as a gay man, to build successful businesses. And at a time I didn't think about business, like it was not even in my field yet. What is the value? Because if you just want a lot of money, if you just want promotion for promotion's sake, as soon as you get that promotion, you will be deeply disappointed and the cycle will begin again. Like the vicious cycle will begin again. And like more importantly, you can start visualize what you want in the present moment. It's not necessarily stop fighting, but it's start being happy now. And if you like, and a lot of people will fall into this, but like I have all of this happen to me. All of this happened to me. How can I be happy now? And my God, my heart goes out to you 100%. But also, if you have a goal and if you associate your happiness, and happiness is a feeling, and feeling is not a fact, and feeling is not something that you must work hard for to achieve. Feeling is with exercise, is with effort, is with visualizing, is with hypnotherapy, is with talk therapy, is with working with your psyche and working with your body. You can achieve, you can get right here, right now, at any point of your life you want. Conscious dissociation and choosing the feeling that you want, this is a valid step to actually be happy now. You can choose to be happy now. You can absolutely choose to be happy now and take aligned actions. And this is the most difficult part, not catastrophizing the fact that you may not achieve that goal. Meaning that you should enjoy the process of getting there as much as the outcome. And in the process of getting there, you may be guided to something more beautiful, to something more sustainable, to something that is actually for you. And sometimes it happens. I thought that I wanted to end up in Australia. I ended up in the United States. I met beautiful husband. I built beautiful two careers in the United States. One career in mental health, another career in tech. Made money, made influence, made a lot of positive changes. And now I'm building this hypnotherapy practice for gay men when gay men can receive affirming care as a hypnotherapy, where gay men can work with a professional who is highly educated, who understands psychology of men, and more importantly, can build the life that they want by their design, by by their intention. Committed action is essential, and that it doesn't come at the end. It's everyday action. Remembering the feeling, remembering to be happy now, remembering to that feeling that you want. And if it is that happiness, if it is another feeling, you can choose to have an experience and imagine that feeling at the moment. How do I choose the feeling? Just choose. Just pretend that you experience that feeling. It's okay to pretend. Your imagination, this is your tool. Me walking in Moscow downtown like I walk in Chicago, pretending that I'm already there, picturing that I'm already there and experiencing the emotions that I wanted at the time, that was absolutely plain pretend. A year and a half later, I was literally walking in downtown Chicago, experiencing emotion in real time. And this is essential. This is essential component. So what can help with that? It's self-discipline. It's rewriting your conscious and subconscious mind. And working with a hypnotherapist can absolutely work. And if it is something that you would like to look into, because I am as scientific as I am spiritual. And for me, I, this is ludicrous to imagine that I can work with a person ignoring their soul or their body or their emotions or their psychology, because it is not just psychology and it's not just conscious and subconscious mind, and it is all of it. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. You have so many systems, and your mind systems, the systems of your mind, they live in different places inside of your body, inside of your nervous system, inside of your mind, inside of your soul. There's also soul system. And it has nothing to do with the derogatory, harmful religion that says that gay or homosexuality is a sin. And it's not. I do not subscribe to that theology. And there are many teachings that do not subscribe to it. And if that was holding you back, that God is, or the spirituality, this judgmental force, and you should absolutely ignore that. You can ignore the people who say that, because I have to do it on an everyday basis when faith warriors show up in my page, show up in my life. I've done this battle. I grew up religious. I grew up in church. And at some point, I said, you know what? No, thank you. No, thank you. And I had to say no, thank you for the life choices that I made, like my profession. I was in very conservative church, And they said, like, you cannot be a psychologist. So, like, well, like, fuck you. Well, I didn't say fuck you. I said, like, no, thank you. This is not what God said to me. I'm very deeply spiritual person. I speak to God. Listen, like, you think you speak to God? I have God on the speed dial, and this is what God said to me. Like, well, like, we all come to the consensus and conclusion that you should not do psychology. Well, and I came to the conclusion that I should leave your church because this is not serving my higher purpose. Like, bye. So again, yeah, this is absolutely happy. This is absolutely possible, and happiness is possible. I can speak today. So, and if you're working on your manifestation, number one, you don't have to be perfectly safe. And you manifest from this safe of play safety bullshit. You don't have to be in a safe of safety bullshit, because as a gay man, we can never be in a place of absolutely safety. You manifest what you are, and you not manifest what you want. Your state is important. How you change your state, where you at right now, is important. And after that, your feel, you can choose your state, you can choose your feeling, you can play pretend, you can be happy now, or you can change that feeling as you want. Like that choice is available to you, and you don't have to tackle it big. You can literally stop small. Like, you just want to feel a little bit better, less shittier. Okay, boom. Feel it. Feel it for 90 seconds. Let it sink in through your soul, through your mind, through your body, through your nervous system. Breathe. Move. Eat. Exercise. Use your body. Use your entire system. Listen, if you feel shitty, you can breathe a little, you can move a little, you can eat a little, and that will change your biomechanics, and that will affect your mind. Like, simple step, right? Simple. Also, surrender, surrender the outcome in a way. Stop catastrophizing. What if the action itself is the purpose? The action itself sometimes is the purpose. And be open. I ended up in the United States. I love it here. I know it may not be popular. I know we are going through really difficult and dark times right now, but tough times don't last, tough people do. And if I were to compare Russia versus the United States, I can live with, as of right now, I can live with that. And if I can't live with that anymore, guess what? This is the invitation for me to explore something else. Maybe Portugal. Maybe Portugal. Because I'm still alive. And even if I'm not, as souls, we never die. But it's a conversation for a totally different day. And more importantly, committed action. Committed action bring you, that is the purpose. And more importantly, if you think that having a business, having 6-figure job or 7-figure job, whatever you want to do, if you think that only thing will bring you happiness, it won't. Because majority of the time, this is very well-known psychological phenomena. When people achieve that purpose, they want more. They want something different. They feel unhappy, and this is vicious cycle. Don't fall for the vicious cycle. Enjoy the process. Experience the feeling now. All right, this is all I have for you. Thank you, and I see you in the next video.